Active service members, veterans, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Stories of Service, an evening with veterans.
Our next speaker, I've struggled with his name a lot. I think I've got it. James Stejskal is a Green Beret, serving with the U.S. Special Forces in Germany, the Balkans, the Middle East, and Africa. Retiring after 23 years, he was recruited by the CIA to serve in Africa, Europe, and the Far East. Jim is now a military historian and archaeologist, and author of Special Forces Berlin and The Horns of the Beast. Please welcome James Stejskal.
I joined the Army. I served 23 years in the Army, and this part of my story begins a bit later, 1992, during Operation Restore Hope in Somalia. It was a humanitarian assistance program to help the people. I was part of a special outfit. Suffice to say, we were the guys that led the way for the others. We were the advance force. Flash forward about a month. It was our 4th trip into the country. It was almost Christmas. We were way down south of the country in the Badlands doing our advance work. We were close to nothing and far from anything. Driving down a road that the intel type said was not dangerous. Note to self, don't believe those guys. There were 4 of us talking about what we needed to do, reading maps, watching the surrounding brushland, the usual Army stuff, fairly casual, but we still had our weapons at the ready. One of us made a joke about running over a landmine, and he said, bang. The next thing I know, smoke is everywhere, and my head hurts. What was left of our unarmored Isuzu trooper was laying on its roof 30 yards off the road. Mark had a broken wrist, and to say the least, he was stunned. Then Mark looks down and says he thinks it's probably not a good idea for me to be standing up. I look down and see my right leg doesn't look quite right. You see, when a mine goes off, it compresses everything on top of it. And my leg got about 4 inches shorter. They found us, medical aid was rendered, and we were stabilized. But we were in bad shape and we needed to be evacuated. So out came the radios, and they contacted our operations center, who contacted the Navy, who had a ship about 150 miles off the coast, who had helicopters on board. And about 2 hours later, a big Navy gray helicopter lands next to us. A bunch of Marines come running out, and they pick us up and load us on the aircraft and fly us out to the ships there. The next day we were flown to an airfield. We met an Air Force C-9 Nightingale, which flew us to Germany, to the Army Hospital Landstuhl. Marines. After 3 days at the hospital, the doctor says, we're going back to the States. I think this is a good thing, but my head still hurts and I'm not really sure about it. All tidied up, they stick us on a 141 and fly us back to Andrews Air Force Base outside Washington. And then we each get our own ambulance and they take us to Walter Reed Army Medical Center, Ramsey for short. For 4 months, I drank as much milk as I could. I was up on crutches at 3 months. In 6, the doctor said I could put weight on my leg. And I began to have thoughts of what I would do next. My life had changed, and I feared not being able to do the things I wanted to do. But all the while, I pressed on. I discovered the one thing that would get me through it all, determination. But it is family and friends who make the difference. Yes, the soldier must want to get better, but it's up to you people to show them the reasons why and to help them find their own way to overcome.